I know in my last video I said that I was done playing Destiny 2, and I have stuck to that. It is still uninstalled off my console, but read a few things lately and seen a few videos that have brought a few things to light I did want to comment on. Bungie has still not really responded in detail about the whole remove Eververse movement or any of the complete riot that has happened in the forums and everywhere else over the holiday season. They put out a New Year's blog post just basically wishing us all a Happy New Year, hope you had fun with a team of Guardians, blah, blah, blah. And then they're saying the Dawning will end on January 9th, which was basically a paywall event. They aren't commenting, they are, and they're saying January 11th is, and there's people are slowly starting to trickle back into their studio, and January 11th on their blog post is when they will give us the update on what's going to happen. And I'm still done with Destiny 2. It's still uninstalled. I have not played it, but as I said in my previous video, I am hoping this game does come back, but I'm not very hopeful of that, considering the few things I'm going to share with you today that really list some motives. Many people are saying if that blog post does not list in detail how they're going to fix this game, what steps they're going to take, either remove Tess Everest or take everything she has and put it back in the game for us to actually get by playing it, or just remove Eververse outright, which is what a lot of people want to see, which I don't think is going to happen. I mean, for me personally, I would accept all her stuff being taken out and being put back into the game for us to actually play for and earn that way. But I'm doubtful of either outcome at this point. There's a recent thing that came out on Yongyao's channel. I may be mispronouncing his name, so I forgive that. But this guy puts out a lot of great news and things like that. He had Jason Schrecker of Kotaku, a pretty good guy as far as video game journalism goes, and he had some things to say on a podcast interview that Bungie was rebooted halfway through Destiny 2. And this is his comment about how Eververse came to be, and this really makes my blood boil. What Bungie decided, and this is his quote, this is his exact quote. You can go on Yongyao's video, this is his exact quote from the interview that I'm reading for you right now. What Bungie decided was, we can't do this anymore, this is too hard for us to do, referring to releasing a DLC every few months. The tools that we're working with are really hard to deal with. It's hard for us to make this much content. It's just hard to make content in general. And they said we are going to do a smaller or a drip feed of smaller stuff, and we're going to put up the Eververse and make money that way. And Activision said okay. It was a part of their renegotiated deal, and they got to a point where they didn't have to be cranking up so much content. This next line pretty much echoes with the same thing that I'm about to say, but this is just crap. It is unbelievable, excuse me. That shows Bungie does not learn from their mistakes at all. Again, I'm sure making content is hard, as I said in my previous video. I have little doubt that it is, and I'm sure it's a difficult process all the way through. But I'm actually going to go with this. That's laziness. That is pure out laziness by a developer that gave us Halo. You know, a good series for many, many years with great content and everything else. And and Destiny 1, which I'm starting to honestly reconsider my opinion on, considering their attitude as of this. You know, that's your attitude towards, you know, the game and everything else. You know, just put up a paywall. We'll focus on that instead of actual good content for your players to play. That is just complete utter laziness and ridiculous. I don't know how else to say that. But that's that issue. The blog post, I'm gonna say it right now. I will be watching for this, and as I've said, this is a lot of people are. There's actually in the forums now, and this is why I say that blog post will be Judgment Day. People in the forums are going beyond remove Eververse. That is still going very strong. You can still look at the pages, but it's now starting to move toward a boycott movement of Destiny 2. a boycott of everything Bungie. And it just shows this thing is just not doing nothing but gaining more, is just having more fuel dumped on it. It is getting more traction. More people are just showing that they're fed up. Probably even more so than they were when the whole remove Eververse movement started. Again, which I still support because it needs to go. It has ruined this game, or dare I even say it, it may have possibly killed it already. But if that blog post on January 11th does not list in detail what steps they're going to take to fix this game, how they're going to prevent this from the future, and the fact that, they better start saying start promising us some good content to come. Because we still have one more DLC that I regretfully pay for in advance with the season pass, which I regret, and I tried to get a refund on it, but I can't because I've already downloaded one and played it, so that kind of annulled it. So as mentioned in my previous video, people are trying to get refunds, and I wasn't sure if they could. I tried myself, I couldn't get it. So, is what it is. Fair enough, I paid for it. I played one. That's fair. I can't argue with that. But this whole situation has just gotten completely ridiculous. It has gotten insane. And it's not the fact there are microtransactions in this game that are pissing people off. It's the fact that they are so centric to getting anything. Any armor sets, any shaders, any ships, any sparrows that you could possibly want for your Guardian, the look you want, which is kind of the point of Destiny 2. You want your Guardian to look the best. You want your Guardian to look cool. It's just ridiculous. It wasn't like that in Destiny 1. Why should it be like that in Destiny 2? Well, as it says, it seems that way. According to that quote that I just read for you guys. This whole situation is just gonna... If that blog post does not satisfy the community, that's gonna be the end. Destiny 2 will officially be a failure. So, time will tell. I'm sure I may do a video of that, of the blog post, once it comes up, and seeing what the reaction is from others. But, ball's in your court, Bungie. I hope you're listening. It doesn't seem like you are if that's the only post that you give us and saying, oh, we'll deal with it on January 11th after how many weeks of your game, basically, people with torches and pitchforks coming after your game and saying enough is enough. I don't know what your thought process is, but I suggest, I would hope you are getting something moving behind the scenes. I hope that you are, because if not, chances of you ever trying to convince anyone to come back to play anything you make, let alone this game after this, is going to be a hard sell, if not impossible. So, that's just my thoughts on the current update of the whole situation. Hope everyone had a Happy New Year's. Peace.